Welcome to Lucktronics. This is the new YouTube arm of Basshead.club. I've done one or two videos on here already, but I'm going to try to start doing some reviews over here. So enjoy. This is the RME Babyface Pro FS, and what's in the box? Well, that's in the box. And also in the box, there's a box in the box. And in the box is the MIDI breakout cable, as well as a USB cable and storage space for your RME Babyface Pro FS, which you can take along with you. It is intended not only as a desktop audio interface, but also as a mobile audio interface. You can use it with your laptop, which I do. You can also use it with iPads. Now, how do you use an iPad using that lowly connection on the iPad itself? Well, you plug it in with USB. And in the case of the iPad, you're going to need the DC barrel jack down here to give it external power. When you're using it just with a computer, you're okay with the USB 2.0 even. You can use it with bus power, or you can use it with external power. Pretty versatile right there. Let's take a quick look at the website, which you're probably browsing right now as you watch this video. So you'll know some of the connectivity and features of this thing. I am using right now only a few things. So we've got the microphone input. This is my microphone. It is an Shure SM58. And I'm using a Fethead, which is like a less expensive cloud lifter, which boosts the signal to the microphone in a nice clean way. And I am using, you can see from this little red light here, phantom power. That is not required for a Shure SM58, but it is required for the Fethead. And my two outputs here, these XLR outs are going to my Dynaudio BM12A monitors. Love them. Use them every day. Use this every single day. I got this about 4 months ago, shortly after they came out. I've been looking for a guitar interface. I'm a hobbyist guitarist since, almost 30 years ago now, and ever since I had a kid in particular, I switched out from physical amplifiers, and I started getting all sorts of things from the, Kemper and Axe FX and Line 6 Helix and things like that. But I also use my computer as a guitar amplifier. So I use software like Positive Grid Bias FX and S-Gear, which we'll mention again shortly. I have longed for many years for something that felt right. Playing guitar on the computer, even when you can't detect the latency, you can't really hear it, somehow you can always feel it. Now, I've gone through M-Audio, Focusrite, IK Multimedia, Universal Audio Apollo Twin, all these different interfaces searching for the right one. And I found it. It's called the RME Babyface Pro FS. This is what I've been looking for. It is incredibly low latency. It is super versatile. It is very easy to use. So despite there being many, many options, it is super easy just to use it as, say, a USB DAC for your computer. Now, I've basically been using this as my USB sound card for this past 4 months, and it's been great. I've had absolutely no issues with the software or the hardware. The drivers have been rock solid. The interface itself is rock solid. Look at this thing. I'm scrolling down as we go by magic, hitting something with the cables. And you know, it's been awesome. With this COVID-19 pandemic, I've been using the microphone every single weekday at minimum, if not on the weekends. In fact, almost always every single day, because I also play games like Warzone and record things like this where I need the microphone. Zoom chats with family, meetings in WebEx and Slack. So the microphone input has been awesome. It's been flawless, just outstanding all around. The guitar input has been everything I've been looking for. It sounds great. The latency is amazing. Using this for headphones is good. I am still an audiophile, so you know I crave even more betterness out of my sound, and I can get that from something like the RME Attitude DAC or Attitude Pro. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the Babyface Pro FS. So I use this not only on my computer at the desk, but I also will plug it into my laptop, and I will be chilling on the lazy boy chair. I just plug it right into the USB port and jam on the guitar with headphones. It's been great. Sometimes I will use it as a basically as a DAC, a volume controlled DAC for the Garage 1217 Project Sunrise 3, which if you dig around this channel, you'll see a build video when I built this thing. You just plug this right in to the headphone output, and it works as a volume controlled DAC or preamp. In the manual it says you can do it. I've been doing it for a long while, and then I finally made sure that I wasn't being crazy doing it this way. So I reached out on the RME official forums, and Matthias Karstens, who is founder of RME, actually answered and said, yep, good to go. It's just lower volume than these back here, which is awesome. He engages with the community constantly. I don't know if people on that forum know how privileged they are. It's really cool, and a very useful forum to go to, as long as you're not asking about audiophile Ethernet cables, because you'll be shunned and called a fool by the masses, because you are a fool and deserve to be shunned. And what price tag, I should say, does this come with? It's not cheap. It's about $900. You can find demo models on Sweetwater for $809, apparently. You might be able to negotiate with your authorized dealer. I'm not sure. But the price never goes down. Pretty much never goes down for RME products until the next products are out. Which is good. It means that you're not going to be waiting around for a sale. I appreciate that. But you can see, you know, here reviews for this thing. Well, there's 5 of them, and they're all 5 stars. It's a perfect 5. This is still a pretty new interface, so it got its reputation as the Babyface and then the Babyface Pro, and the Babyface Pro FS is the new femtosecond steady clock FS technology in there, which also improved the digital to analog and analog to digital conversion. The headphone outputs have now upgraded op amps, which are used in the Attitude Pro. And yeah, it's just been great. So to speak to the quality of this thing, I already mentioned that the drivers have been rock solid and the hardware has been flawless in its performance. But the attention to detail doesn't stop there. Look at this manual. 98 pages of thorough, in-depth explanation about everything you can do with this thing. Virtually every question you could have is answered in here, and if it's not, ask it on the RME forums, and it will get answered. Often by MC, who is the the founder I was talking about before. And they keep this thing up to date. They release new versions with more information. Anytime there's firmware updates that add additional features or anything like that, they'll update this manual as well. So, man, it's the thing of beauty. The manual of all the RME stuff, that I love it. I will sit down and just read the physical manual with alarming frequency. Now, one thing I should mention, right now in the USA, at this price point, you are getting some bundled software as well. So you get Scuffham's S-Gear, BrainWorks, BX Opto, and BX Masterdesk. S-Gear was new to me, and it's excellent. It sounds great. It's very easy to use, works like you would expect, and it's pretty simple, which I actually appreciate. I have positive grid bias effects as well, and I probably use S-Gear more than half the time, probably like 70% of the time now, just for its simplicity, and it's rock solid and works great. So this is a pretty cool piece of software to come with it. Now it also, of course, comes with the Digiface. Digicheck. Digiface is another one of their interfaces. This is Digicheck. You can analyze whatever signal you feel like analyzing. Right now I'm analyzing whatever, probably the analog 1, so the microphone input. This is the frequency response of my voice. Pretty cool right there. This is the stereo spectrum analyzer, which doesn't really do anything right now because this is mono, because it's a microphone. So this is cool. Totalizer is the what I'm using right there. You can also use different types of meters. I'm not going to go through all those right now. But it also comes with Totalmix FX. So this is looks pretty complicated. Under the hood, I'm sure it is. It takes a little bit to really fully understand what's going on in here, but it is very useful. I'm using it right now for several things. You can see right here, this is highlighted, which means there's EQ engaged. So I'm using EQ for analog 1, which is the microphone input. Okay. I have 48 volts right there. And I'm going to click it off. You see where my finger is right there? You can see that it also shows on the unit itself. Gain is set to 32. FX send. This goes to the FX over here. And I can turn those on, and you can't hear them. But I'll show you how you can. I have this currently routed to the ADAT 7.8. I'm not actually using the ADAT. The optical in and out are both down here. I am just using it for mixing purposes. I'm using OBS, and if I don't do this and I don't convert it to stereo signal by routing my analog 1 into really anywhere else, I'm just using ADAT 7.8 for convenience. It will be in the left channel only in OBS, and I don't know much about OBS. I don't know how to convert mono to stereo on that software, but I do know how to do it here, so that's how I'm doing it. So I've just got, you can see, as I click each of these, you can see the different, I'm pointing on my screen, which of course you can't see. You can see the different sliders go up and down. That's because you can actually determine the volume and routing for each of these outputs independently from one another. And that's incredibly powerful. Here is just one reason why. Because you can route your microphone to any of them at any volume. I can actually, reduce the volume, and you're going to be unable to hear anything until I Here we go. Now you're going to be able to hear me back to full volume. And down here, one thing we can do is we can take the FX and crank them. FX return back to max. But you still can't hear the reverb because it's turned off. But now you can hear the reverb, and now you can hear a little bit of slapback echo delay on there. Turn off the reverb, and then I turn off the echo, and then I turn off the FX return, and you can see that now it's back off. So that's pretty cool. And another use for this is, say you're streaming. You want to listen to music while you play video games, but Twitch has cracked down on this crap. They will ban the crap out of you if you are streaming music. You play 2 notes of AC/DC and you're out of there. Maybe not quite that, but you cannot play music on Twitch anymore. You'll get in trouble. But you can listen to music. You can have that routed to anywhere you want. You can have your phone's 3.4. You can have your headphones listening to any of these other inputs or software playback. You can have that routed to your headphones without being routed to OBS. So you can have your desktop sound and your Discord sound and your music all routed to different places, and you can hear what you want to hear, and you can have your audience hear what you want them to hear. So you've got some friends on Discord who don't want to be on your stream. They don't have to be on your stream. You can just send Discord to, say, 8@3.4 and have phones 3.4 listening to 8@3.4. And then you can have your AN12, let's say, not listening to 8@3.4. That's Discord. Now it's not Discord. Right? Pretty cool. So that's Totalmix FX. There's more in-depth stuff on the RME channel that goes over it. So you can learn more there. This is what I use it for. I use it, of course, for my guitar as well. It's been very handy. Very impressed with the software. And really just everything about this interface has been outstanding. It's, like I said, it's what I've been looking for. Do I use it for all of my music listening? Not quite all of it. Most of it, yeah. Because I'm working most of the day and I'm listening to my Dynaudio monitors most of the day. And when I'm not, I'm using headphones. And a lot of the time when I'm using headphones, it's just for gaming these days. And if not gaming, then it's because I need some isolation from kid banging on pots and pans in the background while I'm trying to work. And I'm just going to use this interface pretty much for everything. For the hardcore audiophile music listening, well, then you, and by you I mean me am going to care more about something like the RME Attitude DAC FS or Pro FS. Hopefully I'll be reviewing actually both of those in the coming weeks in a similar format to this. We'll see how this works out. If this is too long-winded or too information deficient, then maybe I'll go back to the written style. But for now, this is my review of the RME Babyface Pro FS. I love it. I bought it. I use it every single day. It's been flawless in its performance. It is the best guitar interface I have ever used, bar none, including the Apollo Twin, which I spent a couple grand on their stinking plugins. Let's not get into that. And I have no plans of letting this thing go. It's too valuable in my arsenal. And we haven't even discussed things like the encoder and how it feels and how you can see PH34. I switch over to PH34. Boom, in the software and on the hardware you can see me changing the volume right there. I can hit dim. I'll dim by 20 decibels from wherever I was. So boom, 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 boom. I can do talkback. You can change these buttons. You can have them set up differently in the options. You can do ARC and key commands, which, oh, P.S., you can buy an ARC USB if you really want to You can extend this versatility even further. It's another USB unit that you can bind a bunch of keys to. Here I've got, TalkBack. I've got TalkBack set up, so when I want to hear AN1, normally, like I'm on a phone conversation and I have my IEMs in, so I can't hear myself talking, but I want to hear myself talking so I don't sound super weird. I will just press a button, get TalkBack going. That's actually disengaged right now just because I am doing all this loopback and all that stuff. But I just turn on TalkBack during my meeting and I can hear myself in my in-ear monitors, and all is well. So let's turn that dim back off. Switching back to the output one, that's my speakers. And I can change the input volume. Channel 1 and 2 is my microphone, 3, 4 is my guitar. Optical, I don't use. But there you go. That's it. Love it. Check it out. Buy it from an authorized retailer that has great return policies like Sweetwater. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like them. And check it out. If you don't like it, just send it back. But you'll like it because it's friggin' awesome. All right. Thank you for tuning in to Lucktronics for this long, rambly review. Leave some comments. I can answer more things in depth if you ask pointed questions. Or I can just pretend I didn't read them if I don't know the answers. Thanks a lot. Join me next time.